Hey there, Mick back with the 2024 year in review, and this time we're talking about experimental albums, so let's get it underway. Okay, number 10, Ghosted 2, following up from the 2023 album, which was Ghosted. We have Iron Ambashi, Johan Berthling, and Andreas Werlin on the Drag City label. Inventive drums, guitar, bass, not quite jazz, but there is elements of modal jazz there, and on the Drag City label. Number 9, Raphael Tal, back after quite a breakaway with Spectral Evolution. This one has guitar, bass, and electronic instruments. It's on the Moko label, and certainly there may be a bit of birdsong here, which you probably get from the cover. So definitely one to check out. Next up is Basic, and with This Is Basic, featuring Chris Forsyth, Nick Melavoy, and Mikkel Avery on percussion electronics. If you like the experimental side of SST, think Crazy Alphabet, you're gonna love this. Chris Forsyth is an absolute gun guitarist, and it certainly comes through on this side. And on the No Quarter label. Okay, next up we have Echoesashi and Evil Does Not Exist. This is an electronic soundtrack of sorts. It could have went into my electronic albums, but I think it's a little bit more on the experimental side of things. This is Evil Does Not Exist, and it's a collaboration for a soundtrack. And this one is comes with the interesting innerwear as gift and gift. So it's nice when the inner artwork matches that of the album. Okay, our drone piece. This time we have Kelly Malone, who has created this for pipe organ, choir and brass quintet. Has a gatefold there. There we go. Quite an academic release, really, but certainly one that evokes emotive responses. But it is a drone type performance, so and recorded at Galice Saint Francois in Lucerne in Sweden. And you can, if you've been to those areas, you can note the snow there, and that would be a year-round situation for those who have been to Lucerne and the various snow trails, or been on the Glacier Express. Okay, next up we have Marb Fretty. Once again, we have a classical-based experimental album. Lyrics lovingly produced in Latin. This one is kind of interesting because Marbe leads the response, and certainly it is an unusual, I guess, cello-based release. Don't worry, there's synths on there, so nothing too bad there. Next up, we have Lorri Anderson, Mrs. Lou Reed. Anyway, this time she sings about Amelia Earhart. Once again, an epic production on this one, and quite a massive lineup where there's a number of, well, it's orchestral really. There's a couple of violin section, a couple of viola section, cellos, double bass. It really is a massive performance, and does document the life of Amelia Earhart, the infamous woman aviation pioneer, and it's on the None Such label. Okay, getting down the business end here. Here we have Alan Licht and his solo guitar album, Havens. Alan, would people would notice would remember from his band Run On, and certainly he's been involved in the improv scene. Solo guitar, I do need to get more solo guitar albums in my life, and I'm thinking the Alan Bishop album from this year, I really do need to pick that one up. This is Alan there in the gatefold performing. Two key tracks really. An interesting cover of 1970, yes, by the Stooges, and Nonchalant, and that's on side 2, and it's a epic avant-garde folk side-long affair. Absolutely transcendental. Next up, we have New Barton. They're back, and can you believe it? It's as great as ever. Blix is on fire as he rants and raves. I've done a fair bit of the listening to the lyrics in German, and they are kindly reprinted in English, so you do know exactly what's being said. The other thing I'd say about this, my number 2 for the year, so fantastic album. It is on bio vinyl, and the pressing isn't so good, so maybe something that you've just got to bear in mind when you get it, because the music's worth it. And my number 1, Kim Gordon, Collective. Kim is from Sonic Youth, and this is her latest album from this year. I describe the album as trap, but it's still got a bit of a downtown art rock experimental feel to it, and Kim delivers her icy cool vocals. Absolutely essential. Sonic Youth fan or not, you're gonna love this. It is something new, and it is something creative. And my number 1 experimental album of the year, and maybe this would be my album of the year. More broadly, it is that good. Every home needs this. Okay, thanks. See you soon.